I haven't done one of these for a long time. Odd jobs and stickers 19. So first, just 3 odd jobs, not worth a video on their own, but still I hope a little bit interesting. And then I'll show you 3 channels, 2 from the UK and 1 from Italy. And as usual, I'll just throw in a little bit of video of their channel and we'll put the stickers on the door. Well, here's an odd job. When I push my tailstock along on the bed, I get a funny grinding noise, and I've been concerned for a while that maybe it's slightly tipped up at the back, I don't know. Anyway, I thought I'd track it down this morning. It's absolutely fine when the tailstock is just off the bed. I can do this, look, and it's as smooth as anything, but when I just get it onto the bed, I get this grind. If I push it backwards and forwards, you'll hear it. Now, I've just blued the ends here, just with a Sharpie. And I want to see if I can find where the problem is, because I've checked underneath, there's no swarf stuck in it, everything seems to be clean, there's no obvious burrs. It's ever so strange. Oh, nearly. Well, you can see there's a wear there. Don't know if that would be it. It's smooth, you see, until I get to there. So it could be there. But also there's a bit of a wear mark over this side as well, just there. So those are the 2 places I'm going to check out. So here, yeah, and on this other side, just that stripe, that scratch you can see there. So I'll just check that as well. Well, it's not all that obvious. I've got a little bump there. There's a bump on that surface there. Now, whether that was a bit of swarf that's got stuck, I don't know. I think that might be. Could be. Because I can't understand how this would have appeared all of a sudden. This face seems alright. There's a bit of a dink just there. So I just had a little bit there, and I think it was perhaps a bit of swarf that got under and just got squashed in and into the face. It feels a bit smoother now. We'll try it. I've also just taken those edges off top and bottom. See what that does. Well, it's smooth as anything now, so my vote goes to a bit of swarf clamped, sandwiched, got embedded. That's what I think. Yep, that's fine. These little jobs take a bit of time though, don't they? I've fitted a Morse Taper 3 test bar into the tailstock quill. Now this setup is a bit sketchy. If I tap it from above, it settles on 0. If I tap it from underneath, it settles on minus 1/100 of a millimetre. I'll keep my hand there to keep this in focus. And the bar is rising by 1/100 of a millimetre, or we could say half a thou, near enough. And I found this to be repeatable. Just about, look. So I think for a lathe that was made in about 1974, that's still quite good. This lathe came from a college, and a number of safety features were added, and this one is to make sure that you can't pull the tailstock off the bed onto your toes. And I think even for grown-ups it's quite worthwhile, because I'm sure I would have done it a few times. Well, my son's finally sorting out his scrap, going to take it to the tip, and he's got these to go, and I thought these central struts could be useful material. So I've got a couple threaded at 12mm and a couple that threaded at 10 fine by the look of it. So I'll just use a saw or something, chop those straight off and recover these. My son has warned me that the front ones may be pressurized. The back ones are definitely not, but they are full of oil. Well, that didn't take long. Could be quite useful stuff to recover from here. Yeah, nice tube. Yuck. Yeah, I think this is going to be worth it. Duh. Number one. Well, that's what I've recovered from the back set. Very useful. Now, because these are threaded at 10mm, they might not do what I would really like to do with them, which is to make some drawbars. I could do with a half UNC drawbar for the mill, on horizontal talking about, and half Whitworth. So I don't think that's going to be suitable, but we'll have a look at the front shock absorbers. Maybe I can part it off and I could thread them, but I don't know how hard this is going to be. If it's like super hard, then forget it. Well, the fronts are not pressurized, and if they ever were, they're not now. So literally I just have to saw around this pretty thin outer tube and it just all separates. It's surprising that the whole kind of weight of this structure is just taken by this fairly thin tube. Well, this is not the job I set out to do today, but you've got to take your opportunities as they arise. So these two are the fronts. Not enough material to make horizontal drawbars for the Harrison mill. I need about 365 of good plain material, and that's only about a foot, 300 and a bit. Nevertheless, half an hour's work and just a bit of mess, and they're going to be very useful for some future project that's not on my mind yet. There's a spring as well in the end there, which could be useful, who knows. What have we got here? Well, it's a load liner from a Peugeot partner van. And what are we doing with it? Well, I need some rubber mats for my Volkswagen E-Up. Now I looked at buying some. In fact, I bought some online, about £25, and they didn't fit because the E-Up has a different floor plan from the standard Up. And some of the bumps which went out on this went in on the standard Up, and I even bought some which said for E-Up, and they were wrong. So I looked at buying some from Volkswagen. Now Volkswagen, these are genuine cloth mats, and even for friends they wanted £100 plus VAT for those even, which I'd already got, and they didn't even sell rubber mats. So I'm going to flip this over, flip those over, draw around them, cut them out. That should give me some good enough, properly fitting rubber mats. This load liner was £35 delivered, so about 45 US dollars, something like that. There's a few pop-outs here. There's one there, there's one back here, so I just need to avoid those, but I've got plenty of material to work with. I've had it on the workshop floor for quite some time to remove the horrible rubber smell. Try and figure this out, maybe the other way. Let's try that then. Yeah, something like that. There's enough material here for 2 sets. I can nearly see that. So I'm cutting them out into individual mats, and then I can trim them in the house where it's not so cold. If I can still see where I am. There he goes. One set of rubber mats. I'm just going to lay them over the original mats. I don't see any point doing anything else. I didn't think about the way these marks go, but as it turns out, they all look the same. Perfectly fitting rubber mats. Now, if they move about too much with the cloth mats underneath, I'll take the cloth mats out and I'll put some mat clips in. And there's the rear. Job done. Well, I hope you like the odd jobs. These things have got to be done, haven't they? Now, the 2 UK channels I'm going to show you, they're probably only about half an hour or 40 minutes away from me, The first one, run by Mike, machining and microwaves. Now his primary interest is microwave communications, but he has the machines at home to make the microwave components. And one thing he made was the bug which was in the Great Seal in the US Embassy in Moscow. Now, I don't mean he made the original one. I mean he made a copy and properly understood it and made a good video about that. But the video I'm going to show you here is actually of his new CNC machine, which he has at home, which he's been, building up his experience of.
This is my new Sile X5 CNC mill. It runs up to 20,000 RPM and comes with an automatic tool changer. As you can see, it almost fits in my tiny machine shop. My first proper project's going to be these coaxial to waveguide transitions for 10 GHz. They've got an SMA socket and a probe and a WR90 flange. The transitions are fiddly to hold, so before making them I need to machine some soft jaws. I can fit 2 workpieces side by side in my Girardi vise, so the transition's got 2 pockets. The soft jaws can hold the workpieces for 2 operations, drilling and thread milling the socket holes and doing the finish cuts on the flange face. I'm using 6082 aluminium and milling some reliefs and fillets so the parts will insert and remove cleanly and there won't be any binding at the corners. I run up a design in Autodesk Fusion. I've never used a CAM program or a CNC machine, so hold on to your hats while I scramble up the foothills of the learning curve. The simulation looks like it might work. I'm keeping it very simple, just a couple of end mills, a chamfer mill and an engraving bit. That's a 63mm end mill with only 2 inserts. I'm using it as a sort of wildly over-engineered fly cutter. So now I've got the stock faced off, it's time to do the engraving. This is where I made my second mistake. Absolutely terrible choice of cutter. I've got a lot better since then. So now it's time to do the top, bottom and ends. For some reason I didn't do it all as a single operation. I think I had at the back of my mind that it would take too long and it would be cutting a lot of air down the sides because there was more waste on the ends of the stock.
Second channel up, Model Engineering Adventures, run by Andy and Michelle. He makes static model engines in his workshop at home. He's quite modest about it, but he produces some really good stuff.
Today's video is going to be a little bit of a walk round of my journey in model engineering. The first engine I had a go at, which I got very excited about, was this little Sterling 60 here. And I struggled a bit with it because it was my first engine, but got it going. Is it the best piece of engineering? Probably not, but it works. Then I moved on to this fan, which probably has the dodgiest crankshaft on it in history, but it still works. Then I decided I wanted to make the Sterling helicopter. Now this one does work very nicely. From trying to do combustion engines to making my first steam engine, which was a 7A. And it's got reversing gear on it as well. I went to a twin cylinder launch engine, and that worked very, very well. From that engine, I went to make the triple compound, which I'm really pleased with, I have to say, and it turns over very nicely. I'm kind of loath to do it on steam because that makes such a mess, but it'll make a mess of the baseboard. And then to the final engine, which you may have seen the videos of recently. And this, I think, from an engineering point of view, is probably the best one, because I made all the parts, and when I put them together, the lack of fettling was quite a surprise to me. Everything fitted, everything felt nice. So this whole journey has took me 3 years.
And then we have Andrea in Italy with his channel Mech Mod Home Shop. You'll see the stickers more clearly when we get them on the door.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We will make here the cone. So let's go to the machine, let's make it. Very nice, right? I prefer to use the ER40 because in this way we will not damage here the boss here. Hope that you can see good. Wow. Now we need to make the screw and this piece is finished.
So there's the new members to the Haxby Shed Door Club, Machining and Microwaves, Mech Mod Home Shop, Model Engineering Adventures. Take a look. If you'd like to see your channel sticker on my door, send me an email to this address. Or if you'd like one of my stickers, I'll send it to you anywhere in the world as long as the post goes there. Thanks for watching. I'm at the Wonder Lab at the National Railway Museum in York, UK. Look at this marking out table. Incredible, isn't it? Let me come a bit closer and we can read the name on it. Great Western Railway Works, 1878. But it is very damaged and dinked, so clearly they didn't look after it very well.